Okay, so this is a pretty cool update on my access to information request on Soviet cipher clerk Igor Gouzenko, who defected in Canada in 1945. And I really want to know how information access works in this country. So this is kind of a test, but also I am genuinely interested in knowing more about Gouzenko. So one of the places, quick recap, that I submitted to was Library and Archives Canada, because I know they hold a lot of the RCMP Security Services records. So I got this email back from Library and Archives, and the ATIP, the team lead for military and intelligence in the ATIP branch at Library and Archives. So this guy, or I'm going to call him Martin, not his real name, sends me back this very comprehensive email. At the beginning, he's like, "So we've taken a look into your request, and it's 40 sets of documents totaling 10,000 pages. And it's going to take us 3 or 4 years to process them all." So, reading between the lines, like, this guy was super polite. His email is really, really lovely, but I can read between those lines, right? He's basically saying, like, "Lady, are you sure this is what you really want?" And no, I'm not sure, because I get freaked out when books are over 500 pages. So, like, I don't want 10,000 pages of old bureaucratic government documents. So he goes further, which is super helpful. Okay, Library and Archives, like, they just seem to come through all the time. So he says you have some options here. One is, here is a list of files that are open access regarding your subject. So things like the Mackenzie King diaries, he was prime minister at the time. There was a commission on an inquiry into espionage. Those are all public records. Also some other ATIs that had been processed before, because Library and Archives makes old access to information requests available and, searchable as best they can. So there was that option. He also provided a list of those 40 like document chunks and said, you can just pick and choose from this list. If you don't want them all, we can narrow it down that way. He said, you can keep going with your request. It's totally legitimate, and we will do the work and we'll process it for you. And then the fourth option, which I found the most intriguing, is apparently free of charge. Library and Archives offers a consultation with an archivist. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And they will sit with you, and they're an expert in the archives. They're an expert in the collection, what's there, what's available, and how to properly search it. So that's the option I've chosen to go with, because although I'm interested in Gouzenko, I am not interested in going through 10,000 pages of documents. Primary sources, I don't actually consult them very often. I'm really the kind of person who prefers to read the book written by the historian where they've gone through all the primary sources. So I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste taxpayer money either. Like, that's just, I know that's overwhelming. So I crafted exactly what I'm looking for, which is, I really want to know how Gouzenko was processed. I want to know how the RCMP decided he was worth listening to, why they didn't send him back to the Russian embassy, how they vetted his information. I want to understand exactly how they processed him. And I also really want to understand, once we decided he was legit, how we communicated that to the USA and the UK, and what the ramifications of that disclosure was. So I'm really interested in those two things, probably all of which happened between 1945 and, say, like 1950 at the outset, or the outside limit. So I have submitted the request based on those parameters to work with an archivist who will tell me exactly, hopefully, how to better access the information I'm looking to in my search. But shout out again, Library and Archives. I know my bias is showing, but like, they really, this guy provided such a comprehensive list of the documents, of links, of other things that are available to assist me in my search. I still have a lot to go through. Actually, it was really, really an awesome response. So I've officially abandoned the Library and Archives search, going to work with the archivist and come back and try to get something a lot more pointed to what I'm looking for. Anyway, so far this has been a really interesting journey. Hope you're enjoying it too. Any questions or comments, let me know. Otherwise, hope everyone's doing great.